I went to the swingers club and I saw my parents. I went to a swingers club again, and this time I was met with a surprise. I was not expecting to see what I saw, and I wanted to share my experience with all of you and also know how you feel about it. And how do I feel about it? Let me tell you all about my last trip to the swingers club a few weeks ago, and you be the judge. Hi, I am Dr. Tanji, the sex doctor, board certified clinical sexologist, and on a mission to take sex education out of the dark ages and facilitate a safe space for sex exploration, empowerment, and growth. Welcome! I have a big ask. If you like my content and you appreciate my work, subscribe. Your subscription helps this channel more than you know. Takes only 1 second of your time, does not cost you anything, and help us continue to grow this sex positive community. You may also find other ways to support this channel in the description section of this video. So find the subscribe button right now. Click on it with me. Done. Thanks. Okay, back to my latest experience at the swingers club. Recently, I posted a video about my first visit to a swingers club, which I am leaving in the description section of this video. I thought I would repeat the visit since my last visit to a swingers club happened well over a decade ago, and see how the scene was now and how I felt about it after so many years and so much more experience in the field and better and deeper knowledge about myself. So I decided to go to a local swingers club and test the waters again, but this time I found something I was not expecting. As I went in, the club was full and they were having a theme night, which was schoolgirl night. I missed that completely and went dressed kind of clubby, but definitely not in a theme attire, which was okay. There was a mix of ages among the attendees. However, to my surprise, the population that made up most of the crowd, and I mean by a lot, was definitely the 60-plus couples, and I would even dare to say that most were in their 70s. Although this should not be surprising, I was not expecting to see a vast majority of folks that were my parents' age, and not only they were the majority, at least that night, the older ladies were happily dressed in school-age girl costumes, happily partaking in the theme of the night without any shame. They had their sexy outfits on, were dancing with their husbands and friends, all seemed to be having a fabulous time, and the older crowd was not keeping themselves from having a sexy time. Couples were friendly with the people that they knew. They were flirty and seemed happy to be there. It probably makes sense that older couples were the majority in the club, as older couples are empty nesters. Their kids are probably away or busy with their own lives. They probably don't have a lot of family commitments as they used to on a Saturday night. So the elder years becomes a perfect time of life to set themselves free and experiment sexually. Do you know that you can talk to me live? Follow the link in the description section below and book your time with me so you can ask me all your sex questions, all the questions that you don't have answers for. Don't be shy. I hope to talk to you soon. Not only people in their 60s and beyond may have more disposable time to go to a swingers club and be in a position to devote more time for sexual experimentation, some couples may just come to a swingers club to be fueled by the eroticism of the club and use that energy to have sex either at the club or later. I actually saw some of the couples go into a private room after some dancing and enjoy sex just with each other, probably after so much sexual tension and teasing. So for senior couples looking for a way to spice up their sex life, a swingers club might prove to be a pleasant experiment. I have to say that although I always go into these experiences with an open mind and with no expectations, I was not expecting to see that the vast majority of the couples in the swingers club that night were going to be in their 70s. I was actually glad to see that couples in their golden years had decided to either continue to enjoy their sexuality by being voyeuristic or exhibitionistic in their sexual behaviors, but to also see that couples later in life were still prioritizing their sexual enjoyment at a time when most of the world thinks that sexual desire is gone or should end. I always say that sex has no expiration date, and that night I was happy to see that. Obviously, I did not see my own parents at the swingers club that night, but the couples I saw could have been my parents and were someone else's parents. I learned some valuable lessons that night, including that you never know about your parents' secret lives. In this case, older couples were enjoying something that I'm sure their kids know nothing about. And maybe their children are thinking and saying, my parents would never do something like that. When in fact, the truth of the matter is that your parents may be doing more things than you will ever know. They are just secretive about it. I also learned that sexual exploration and experimentation do not have to end when your age reaches a certain milestone. The older years are a great time to be more bold sexually, as people are not worried about unintended pregnancies. They have more disposable time and may have more disposable income. And the mentality might be, if not now, when? I learned that I want to remain sexually curious and active into my golden years and perhaps until my last breath. Sex is a right and a gift, and being able to enjoy it throughout the lifespan is something to be celebrated and taken advantage of. I also learned that societal standards of beauty and what counts as sexy is just a construct, and we don't have to follow these conventions. Sexy is being able to show up with confidence, enjoy sexual stimulation and pleasure, be sensual, and feel or feed into the erotic energy to have satisfying sex well beyond the fertility years. I felt very happy for all those couples that were showing and loving each other, showing their love and lust, and having a great time exercising their right to their own sexuality. And I also learned that sex education and sex conversations are always needed no matter what age. Consent is crucial in these swinging environments, and people also need to know how to keep themselves healthy and safe even as they age. At least I saw sanitation processes being conducted and a table that was actually attended by an individual as they were handing condoms and information as needed. Safety in sex does not have an expiration date either, just like sex doesn't have it. I felt great joy and respect for all of those elders having sexy fun and living their sexuality out loud without inhibitions. I do hope to grow up to be like them. So, the next time you want to go to a swingers club, just beware that you may find your own parents there. The people I saw are definitely someone's parents, and just like you, your parents may have a secret sex life. So, what do you think? How would you feel if you found people that are significantly older in these sexually charged environments? Leave your comments below. I read them all. As always, I wish you safe, healthy, and pleasurable sex of whatever kind you practice. See you next time.